Okay, so this is gonna be my first time recording, so it's kind of, I'm trying this tripod thing going, so we're gonna go ahead and see how this goes. But the dish I'm preparing for you is kind of like a side dish to any main dishes that you want to make. Frijoles charros, or charro beans, is what we're going to be making. So I'm going to show you a couple of the ingredients that you need, okay? So of course you are going to need chorizo. I usually prefer Pinto, but I couldn't find any, so I ended up getting cacique, which is still good, but I used the beef kind. You need weenies, cilantro. You need pico de gallo, which consists of basically onions, tomatoes, and jalapenos, which I'm gonna cut up some more. Bacon is hickory smoked bacon, or you could use any kind, mesquite, whatever you like. And beans, which I actually cooked yesterday. So you can see that there's beans. Don't mind all of the doggy treats. I have like 4 dogs. So that's basically all you're going to need. You're going to cook it all in one pot. And I am going to show you how in a minute once I go ahead and prep everything. So you just need to make sure that your bacon, when you cut it, it's very small cut. And then I'll show you the process as it goes. I don't want to take too long cutting. But I'll go ahead and show you guys that. The pico de gallo is already done, so as you can see, that's already cut. And then cut up the weenies, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so now we're back. As you can see, I'm gonna move this a little bit over here. I have already cut up most of the stuff that I need. So the chorizo, I just cut it in half because I'm just gonna pour it all in there. The first thing that you need to do though is you need to cook this bacon. I personally prefer the bacon to be crispy. I don't know if you can see it. We just put it there. There we go. So personally with me, I like the bacon to be crispy. So if you're gonna go ahead and do anything with it, you need to make sure that it's crispy. Well, in my case, I like it crispy. Everybody else usually eats it and it's crispy. So we're gonna do that. After we end up going ahead and cooking the bacon, we're going to take it out, leave the grease in there, and then we're gonna go ahead and put in the chorizo and the weenies, cook that down, and then we'll put in the pico de gallo, or the jalapeno mixture. As you can see, I ended up going ahead and cutting up more jalapenos because we kind of like it a little spicy. There is one ingredient that I forgot to tell y'all. Let me run to the refrigerator real quick. You want about a tablespoon of mustard. Now, I was telling my brother when I sent him a text message that I know it sounds kind of a little funny regarding that, but trust me, you really don't taste the mustard. You guys can see the cake over there. I'm actually having a birthday thing later on, so that's the reason that I'm cooking and stuff like that. So it usually runs pretty fast. So whenever you're going ahead and getting ready to cook this stuff, you need to make sure that everything is cut ahead of time before you start mixing it, because if you put the bacon on high or on medium high, it starts going ahead and cooking. So we just wanted to go ahead and break down, because we do want the grease of the bacon and all that stuff. The last thing that you want to go ahead and add before anything is the beans. You want to make sure that the beans are the last thing that you put in there, because you're going to simmer it for about 20 to 25 minutes along with all of that stuff, so it picks up all the juices once it's cooked and stuff like that. So we're just waiting for the bacon to go ahead and start to cook down, and then we'll go from there. So this is actually my first video making anything for YouTube. I usually do stuff on Facebook, which I'll probably link onto my YouTube videos at some point or whatever. If you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and comment below, and then I'll answer them as quickly as I can get to them. As quickly as I can get to them. It's not like I have 1,000 followers or anything like that, you know? let me move the beans out of the way here. So you put them over here. That way you guys get a little bit more of a view. So yeah, so basically that's about it. We're just waiting on the bacon to cook down, like I said, and then from there you just go ahead and put all the other ingredients. So once the bacon is a little bit closer, I'll show you guys the other stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video, and then I'll be back in a minute. Okay, y'all, so as you can tell, the bacon is already starting to get crispy, and it's emitting a lot of grease, which is exactly what we want. So try not to get the bacon that is what is it, low fat? Is that low fat bacon? I don't know if it's low fat, but you want to make sure that you have that kind of bacon, because you're going to need the grease to go ahead and do what you got to do. I'm going to move it over there in just a minute. I want to make sure that I have two different kinds of spoons, because I usually use wooden spoons for everything. None of my spoons, they're either plastic or wood. Well, when I mean wood, I mean bamboo, you know, because bamboo, I don't know if y'all know that, but bamboo grows a lot faster than trees. So don't be getting real wood utensils. Get stuff that is made from bamboo, because bamboo, you can go ahead and grow it. It grows a lot faster than trees. And then of course I have the regular plastic, which, you know, lasts for a very long time, unless you put it next to the burner, and then of course it melts, and then it has a nasty little smell. But you know, I've been cooking long enough that I believe I don't have to go ahead and worry about that. So now you can see all of the rendering of the bacon. So you can see all of that wonderful grease that's right there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take out the bacon. Take it out and let it... Use one of the spoons that has the holes, because you want to make sure that you leave... Some of the grease is going to go in with the bacon, so it doesn't really matter, but, you know. But you just want to make sure that you're taking out all the bacon and leaving most of the grease in there, because that's exactly what you want. You still want your heat to be at least medium, if not medium low, because you don't want anything to burn. So let's just go ahead and bring it down. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and cook your chorizo. I'm going to use the entire thing of chorizo. I'm going to cook that. Once you see it start breaking down, that's when you want to add the weenies. And then you cook the weenies for another 2 minutes with the chorizo, and then you add the pico de gallo. So if the flame is too high, it's going to start popping. So you want to make sure, as it does now, you want to make sure that if it starts getting way too hot, you move it away from the flame, so that way it cools down a little bit, and then you can go ahead and place it back. So now the chorizo, as you can go ahead and see, has broken down. We don't want it to break down completely. We just want it to break down to where it leaves some of the juices, because what we're going to do now is we're going to quickly go ahead and put the weenies. Okay? The weenies are already been cut up. I lost 2. And then since it's still on medium to low heat or medium heat, it's just gonna go ahead and cook there for a minute. You want it to go ahead and cook for about a minute or so. You don't want the weenies to get, you know, too crazy. I would say this is about a small teaspoon, small tablespoon. So you get that full of mustard, because you're also going to use that once you put in the pico de gallo. So you just want to go ahead and make sure that Made a farting noise. So about that much. So about that much mustard, which is about a teaspoon, a tablespoon, and then you just want to go ahead and have it ready. Okay? As you can hear, you can still hear it sizzling, and the weenies are still cooking, and everything is still going ahead and acting good and great. At this point, the weenies have been cooking for about a minute or so. So then you want to go ahead and add the pico de gallo. Sorry for the noise. This is not one of those ASMR videos, so I make noise. I'm a very loud person, so I make noise for everything. When I'm cooking, when I'm cleaning, when I'm doing all kinds of stuff. So like if you could smell it right now, it smells absolutely delicious. But what you want is you just want to keep on cooking it. Keep on cooking it. Leave it there for another 2 minutes or so. You can increase the heat to medium at this point. You can take about a handful of cilantro. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse it real quick because I usually like to go ahead and rinse all of my stuff because this is gonna go towards the end when you're letting the beans simmer in with all of this other stuff. Also bamboo. My knife skills, by the way, suck. I'm not a professional chef. I learned all of these recipes mostly from my aunt. You should never do that either because you could go ahead and cut yourself, by the way. Unless you're like, not super careful, but. So you have the cilantro, you have the mustard, which you could go ahead and see right there. And then you still have this wonderful concoction that is still cooking here. You're going ahead and just letting it cook because you want to make sure that the weenies get cooked along with the chorizo and the pico de gallo, which is, you know, it's going to taste really, really freaking amazing. And if you could just smell it, it smells freaking delicious. You can add more weenies if you want. It just depends on how much weenies. I left 2 in the pack because I'm gonna end up cooking them in another dish because like I said, I'm making, this is the starter dish that I'm making for today's festivities because I'm gonna make green enchiladas and rice and then of course the charro beans. So I'll make the videos for the green enchiladas and the rice on later videos. I'm gonna try and upload once a week, show you guys the recipes that I have. Most of them are not Mexican recipes or Tex-Mex recipes or any of that stuff. It's usually other things. That's Daniel. So I'm recording. So this is exactly what it is. So once this is done, which is about, say about 3 minutes, I always have a rag with me just in case I need to go ahead and clean something or clean my hands or something like that. You want to go ahead and grab some of the beans. Not some. You want a bigger ladle than this, by the way. I have a very bad habit of not washing as I go. Oh, I made the beans in an Instapot last night, but you could go ahead and use it in a crock pot, or you can go ahead and make them on the stove. It's usually very, very simple. You go ahead and you soak the pinto beans. This recipe, usually we use pinto beans. You soak them, I'd say for like about a good 20 minutes at least, in water to make sure that they're clean. Of course, you want to make sure that there's no little rocks or little pebbles or anything like that. And usually the beans that are bad will float up to, you know, the surface of the water. Then you go ahead and you drain them, and then you put them in a pot with salt and water. I usually put about a tablespoon of salt. You don't want it to be too salty because if you end up putting them like in a dish like this, then it'll become very, very salty. So you don't want to do that. So I made these last night in my Instapot, which took about 15 minutes. And then, as you can see, the weenies are already cooked. to where they're jumbo, kind of, sort of. So what you want to do is you just want to start going ahead and ladling in the beans. You want the bean juice as well because that's what's going to go ahead and marry everything together. So and then the beans that are left over, I could just go ahead and make refried beans for later. So it's gonna have like this brownish red hue. So it's gonna have about this brownish red hue. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to fix that situation. But this is about the tablespoon of mustard that you want to go ahead and add. Trust me, you won't taste it. You can never taste it. But it gives it a nice little flavor. And mix that around, mix that around. Then you want to add the bacon back. The reason you want to add the bacon towards the end along with the cilantro and stuff is because the cilantro and everything cooks very quickly. And when you're simmering this for a little bit, you don't want the bacon, like, I personally like bacon to be crispy. That's why I cook it extra when it comes to charro beans, because it comes up soggy anyways. And if it was already a little bit less than crispy to begin with, then I don't like the texture. That's just my preference. Also wanted to show off this really cool molcajete I got. You know, I'll show you the original one. This is normally the one used off of a lava rock, you know, and this is like, you see how different it is? This one has better grip, so whenever you're going ahead and doing your salsa or whatever. So it's always good to have a mortar and pestle just in case you ever want to grind up any of your seasonings, any of your herbs and stuff. So I highly recommend you guys get that. So this is probably going to cook for about another 20 minutes or so because everything's already cooked. We're just wanting it to marry. The flavors marry together and be all delicious. But as you can see, it's a mixture, and you can see there's jalapenos and there's beans and there's all kinds of great stuff in here. I actually ended up getting the secret for the charro beans from my aunt because she ended up going ahead and being the one that used mustard. So she showed me how to go ahead and add the mustard, and it actually, you don't even taste it, but it gives it something of a different flavor. It's really, really good. So with that being said, I will, like I said, post more videos. Excuse me looking all kinds of rough, but you know, people usually end up going ahead and looking rough anyways when they cook, unless you're over there trying to go ahead and make something easy. And I usually have to rush home to go ahead and cook for 5 of us. So which I love to do. So don't get me wrong on that. I enjoy cooking, which is the reason that I wanted to go ahead and start a YouTube channel, anyways, because I want to go ahead and make sure that I, you know, add different content to it. Because a lot of people are usually looking all nice and pretty when they're going ahead and doing their mukbangs or the ASR videos. And the reality is most people don't even look that good whenever they're going ahead and cooking, because you're not trying to go ahead and do a show, you're just trying to go ahead and cook. Now, when you do the party, like I'm going to do tonight, of course I'm going to take a shower and do all that stuff, but usually it's like, what else, you know? So if you have any questions or comments about stuff, I will go ahead and answer them as they come along. I will be uploading this video today, and then I'll go ahead and try and upload videos periodically every week, cooking or a variety of things, depending. Sometimes I might make 2 videos depending on what it is that I'm going ahead and doing, because I want my YouTube channel to be a variety of things. So if you have any questions, please give me a holler. Let me know. Send them in the comment section. Like and share this video. Also, if you want to go ahead and subscribe, you can go ahead and do that. Hit the link to go ahead and like my video, and then we'll go from there. Who knows, you know? But until next time, thank you. So here comes the moment of truth when I'm actually going to taste my product, okay? So I just want to mix it around real quick. If you need to add salt, I'm not a very big salt person, but if you need to add salt at a later time, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going to give myself a couple of scoops here. And some of that juice. Grab some bacon and stuff like that. Made a little bit of a mess, but that was really, really good. So, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and link the video below. I'm gonna go ahead and answer comments from below. I am gonna come to you once a week to try and go ahead and give you more recipes of stuff that I made. That's the sauce for the green enchiladas, which I'll make a video for at a later time. But I'm prepping that. I did that off camera because I'm also making enchiladas to go along with the charro beans, and I'm also gonna go ahead and be making rice, which you can see the rice over here. 1 cup of rice, okay? So yeah, so if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything on how I can improve my videos, or anything that you would like to try and see me cook to see if I know how to cook it, please let me know in the comments below. If you like this recipe and you try it, like I said, it could probably take you about 30 minutes, 45 minutes to go ahead and make this dish. Once you have everything in there, you can let it simmer for 20 minutes while you're cooking the other main dishes. I just wanted to go ahead and bring you this because I haven't made it in a long time, and I thought that it would be a great video to go ahead and make. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I will answer them as soon as I can. I really hope that you do try this recipe. It is a really, really, really good. I'm gonna go ahead and get some more. Really good recipe. The more jalapenos you add, the spicier it is. You can even do it with serrano peppers if you like to. It depends on how spicy you want your food. I think that this was perfect. It was about 3 jalapenos, 1 tomato, and 1 onion for the pico de gallo. So it was really, 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 really good. So have a great day, and thank you so very much for joining me. I will go ahead and see you guys again next week with another dish. Talk to y'all soon.